welcome to Ecoholics. Today we are going to understand another very important concept from the perspective of infrastructure. Every economy requires very robust infrastructure, and for every developing economy, infrastructural needs would be fulfilled by both participation of public sector and private sector. So today what we are going to do is we are going to understand the contribution or the importance and the types and concepts of the various public-private partnership models. We'll also understand some examples of these various PPP models, and so we are going to understand why PPP models are so important for any developing economy. So let's first start with the concept of the public-private partnership models. Now, as you can see over here, when we talk about the public-private partnership models, we talk about the different level of investment, the different level of ownership, and the different idea of designs or any type of such important concept brought by both private and the public entity. When we talk about the public-private partnership models, we want to focus on how the land or any such resource is going to be used efficiently so as to build an economic or a social infrastructure. Even when we talk about social infrastructures for developing economies, it's very important for any type of a government to contribute and to benefit the different social aspects or society by building and establishing various types of social infrastructures like hospitals, like schools, different educational institutions, various types of such benefits that and facilities that would provide a class or we can say world-class platform of social benefits to the beneficiaries or individuals or to people. So this is one very important point of welfare. Now, public-private partnerships is not just a solution to welfare, but also an economic solution, and which is why the private entity over here plays a very vital role to bring in finance and to bring in some really important designs. Such designs will again be world-class designs which will contribute to an efficient economic perspective, and which is why we say that the PPP model, the different PPP models contribute by looking into investment needs, looking into ownership control, who would control, by what time or duration the control will be or the ownership will be, in which type of a party, the risks sharing, how will the risk be shared between the public and the private entities, whether the risk will be completely public oriented or private oriented, as in public entity oriented or private entity oriented. Then who is going to bring in the technical know-how, or who will collaborate with the technology and other different technicalities, and the duration and financing of the whole facility. So there are a lot things that are brought into the public-private partnerships, and which is why such phenomenal projects and such phenomenal facilities will definitely prove very useful, very technical, and very fulfilling for any type of a developing economy. So let's now find out the various types of public-private partnership models. Before we go into the different models, these models of course are very technical, are law-binded, and we are not going to talk about a specific economy over here while looking into the PPP models, which is why we are just going to focus on the concept and brief about each and every PPP model. So let's jump into the first one. The first one over here is Build, Operate, Transfer, BOT. Now the BOT model is a most conventional, the most basic and the most fundamental PPP model, over which and through the modification of which various other models have been also collaborated. So the build, operate, transfer. Over here we have three words, which means build. The first two words are build, operate. So over here the private entity is going to bring in their designs and the public entity is going to facilitate them at a certain time period, into which the private entity is going to fulfill building the whole project, bringing in the finance, and of course operating on it. Now by operations we basically mean that to generate revenue out of the facility that has been created, whether it's a skywalk or a bridge or a metro, anything. It can be any type of a project, any type of a facility, and through which the private entity is going to earn revenue through its users or through the people who are getting benefit of it, or by some taxes, right? And after the period, the sanction period is over, then the facility is going to be transferred to the public sector, and the public sector will have the ownership of such particular facility. So this is the most conventional and the most fundamental PPP model. Over here we have an example of various national highways that are built and contracted on this model by the NHAI, and this is, I think, one of the major models which is used and which is modified also. A lot of times we'll also see a lot of modifications in the BOT model itself to build something else, or to introduce another parameter into the BOT model and create another type of a PPP model. So this is one of the models. Then the next one is build, own, operate. Now over here we have own, operate. So here what happens is, usually the project or the PPP model is designed and built by the private party or the private entity. The private entity again is going to finance the project, and the public entity is going to provide them the space, or they are going to provide them a specific design or a specific type of a requirement. They are going to help them in providing some concessions in acquiring various resources which are required to build such a project. Then the private entity itself will own the project for again a sanction period of time, and will also operate on that project, which means they are going to earn revenue out of it. Many a times such projects, such models or such facilities will not be transferred for ownership to the government or to the public sector, just because probably it is not useful for any type of a revenue generation or for any other purpose to the public sector, and probably private sector would maintain it in much better and an efficient way. So which is why this particular PPP model is used in those various situations. We have the Kutch and Pipavav railways as one of the very good examples of the build, own, operate PPP models, over which this railway station in India has been made. And then there are others also. There is Xiamen Airport Cargo Terminal in China, and then there is the Sukhothai Airport in Thailand, and then there are many others, right? So such type of projects basically would occur where the ownership will be contained by the private entity. Then we have the next one, which is build, own, operate and transfer. Now this is like again a modification of the BOT model itself. So we have combined the BOT model and the BOO model to make the build, own, operate and transfer. So build, own, operate, till here we have just discussed that the private entity is going to build the whole facility, is going to design it, probably is going to again bring in the finances, is going to and by bringing in the finances basically means that private entity can get their own sponsors, and the government is not going to, the public sector is not going to be bothered about from where these sponsors are coming in. Of course, the final sanction will be done by the public sector also, but the whole idea of bringing in the money will be on the shoulders of the private entity. Then again, they are going to own it and operate it after a specific period of time, which has been sanctioned or which has been written in the agreement, in the contract, in the PPP model or the PPP contract, which has been decided by both the parties. After the operations, a specific period of time, then it will be transferred to the public entity. The transfer will be done according to the requirements of the public entity, and it can be like a partial transfer also of a specific facility of that particular project, or it can be like the transfer of the whole facility also, right? So Greenfield Minor Port Concession in Gujarat is based on the on the BOOT PPP model. Although this particular PPP model is not very common in Indian economy perspective, but of course there are modifications happening. There are various private players which are coming in to operate on such PPP models also. Then we have the next one, which is build, operate, lease and then transfer. So over here we have lease, which is a new terminology for the whole sequence of PPP models. Build and operate will happen accordingly. Private entity is going to design and build the whole facility, is going to bring in the money, is going to operate, which means is going to earn out of the users which come in. They are going to pay through taxes or whatever, a toll tax or any type of such taxes will be paid by the, or direct payment is going to be done by the users of that facility. After that, there will be a leasing. So the facility will be leased out by the private entity to the public entity. The lease will happen and the public entity can, use and can do various operations through that particular facility. And after the lease period is over, the private entity is going to transfer the whole facility to the public sector itself. So leasing out is something that is a new term that we have just discussed, okay? And most of the time the best use of such bold PPP models is done for social infrastructures. Social infrastructures, like I mentioned about schools, colleges, educational institutions. We have to create hospitals, we have to create facilities for public health and sanitation. We have to create such facilities for good drinking water. So all of such facilities and such projects can be taken under the BOLT PPP model. Then we have the one which is design, build, finance, maintain, operate, which is also known as design, build, finance, operate and transfer. So such model is again a model which has been completely modified and completely rejuvenated. It can be said that it is under BOT only, but it majorly is going to be the financing and the maintaining part will be again done by the private entity itself. So this is specifically a PPP model where a lot of financial support and maintenance of the facility, security wise, technical aspects of the facility might be very important or confidential. So for such type of facilities, we can use such PPP models, such projects which are very important for the economy or for the development perspective or for safety and security. So such things would definitely require financial and maintenance support, and which will be done by private entity, and after the operations of it will be transferred to the public entity. So there's another example over here which has been recently done, which is the development of the Thiruvananthapuram Central Ernakulam Junction, and then Kozhikode and Mangalore Central world-class stations have been made by this particular model. Over here we have seen that the PPP models are acquired, modified according to the specifications and requirements of specific states in the economy. So every state will have a specific perspective of how much they can collaborate with the private entity, how much they can function efficiently with using such PPP models. So in every state, you will find a different style of a PPP model which has been opted out. Now, talking about the last one, which is mostly a hybrid model, and which is why it's known as a hybrid annuity model. So the HAM model or the hybrid annuity model is basically a mix of the EPC, which is engineering, procurement and construction. It's a basic terminology which is used in most of the infrastructural projects, EPC. And along with EPC, we talk about the build, operate and transfer, BOT PPP model. So both of them, when we collaborate with, we get a hybrid annuity model. And through this model, again, because it has engineering, it has procurement of resources, procurement of raw material, procurement of labor, procurement of any such requirement which is going to add on to the facility and to the project, and of course the whole construction of it. Along with that, the build, operate, transfer functionality. This would make a very interesting establishment, a very efficient project which can bring about really good change in the economic and social perspective of any economy, and which is why it's also known as the hybrid annuity model, right? So looking at the last one, which is the current news, we have the newly refurbished the station, which was earlier known as Habibganj in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and now it has been refurbished through the PPP model, which is now the world-class Rani Kamlapati railway station. The most interesting thing about it is that it is the architectural marvel, which is India's first such PPP model based state-of-the-art railway station. So which is something which is a very interesting fact about such a PPP model which has established and which has now started operations. So with this, we would end with the discussion of the various PPP models. Something which is a closing note about the public-private partnership is the regulation and control about the various PPP projects is very, very important. If the regulatory authorities or the regulation is not proper, then there can be a lot of corruption and a lot of delays. And the PPP model, which stands for efficiency and elaboration of consistency, will not materialize in an economy. So for betterment or for opting for a better choice in different PPP models, the regulation of the PPP projects, the scrutinization of where the money is coming from, and how the operations are happening and how the building process is happening, of course without any micromanagement, will definitely take any economy to its heights. So this was it for today. We will come up with more such interesting concepts for all of you. Till then, keep liking and sharing our videos. Keep subscribing to Ecoholics. Thank you.